I highly recommend this valuable book for your children. Remisa Vatia with Priya Kaur. 14 Fantastic Stories. A Journey of Imagination. 14 Fantastic Stories. A Journey of Imagination. Immerse yourself in a world of wonder, adventure, and heartfelt lessons with 14 fantastical stories that will captivate readers of all ages. This collection is a treasure trove of tales, where imagination knows no bounds. From magical underwater escapades to galaxy-spanning friendships, each story is a gateway to a unique and enchanting world. Inside, you'll discover 1. The Guardians of the Sea, Adventures of Friendship and Conservation. 2. The Legacy of the Grey Dragons. 3. The Brave Dinosaur and the Sandcastle. 4. The Mystery of the Lost Bone in the Prehistoric Museum. 5. Duncan and Chirp, The Underwater Adventure. 6. Duncan and the Magic of the Cosmos. 7. Duncan and Lucas, Adventures in the Magical Ocean. 8. Rebecca and Miso, The Forgotten Treasure Quest. 9. The Little Policeman. 10. Clara and the Memory Tree. 11. The Adventures of Pepito and the Traveling Cow. 12. Heartfelt Friends at Rainbow School. 13. The Horse from the Valley. 14. Haruto and the Compass of Adventures.
Perfect for parents looking for bedtime stories filled with life lessons. Young readers eager to explore new worlds and unforgettable characters. Teachers and educators looking for engaging stories with moral values. Each story is carefully crafted to inspire creativity, foster empathy, and ignite a love of reading. Why you'll love this book: beautifully written stories that are easy to follow and rich in imagination. Memorable characters that teach resilience, friendship, and courage. A collection that is both entertaining and educational. Embark on a journey where every page has magic, every character brings joy, and every story leaves you with a smile. Order your copy today and let the adventure begin. Here is the story 1 excerpt from the soon-to-be-available audiobook. Produced by Priya Kaur.
Story 1. The Guardians of the Sea. Adventures of Friendship and Conservation. It was a sunny day in Seattle. The weather was so beautiful and pleasant that it attracted Poto the cat and his friends, Mary the hare, Nibella the seagull, and Momo the greedy dog, a Labrador, to play on the seashore. Suddenly, in the distance they saw an ice floe. As they approached, Poto and his friends saw that a little penguin was sitting on it. The penguin looked very sad and downcast, not daring to look up. "What are you doing sitting there all alone, Penguin?" asked Poto. "I accidentally ended up here at the southern tip. I want to go back home, to the North Pole, to Antarctica. But how?" said the penguin in a voice so soft that it was almost inaudible. "Penguin, you say you are from Antarctica, and you have never been away from home?" said Mary. "Yes, that's true. I did not really want to go, but it happened to me by accident. I was sunbathing on the rocks with my family. I slipped, fell into the sea, and a very large wave swept me away until I found this iceberg." Poto tried to distract him and cheer him up, but the penguin was so distressed that tears were beginning to flow from his eyes. Then Nibella had an idea. He invited the penguin to sit with the others in front of the sea and silently observe the distance. Maybe this way they would come up with ideas to help him. Hours passed and they still could not find a solution. The silence ended, but the conversation between them was so pleasant that it became friendlier by the second. The penguin had stopped crying and even laughed at the jokes of Momo the farmer, who with his pranks tried to cheer up the poor penguin. "Hey, but you haven't said your name," said Mary. "Pingoony is my name." "Ha ha ha ha, what a funny name." The cat couldn't stop laughing, remembering that he had already heard the name Pingoony when he tried to steal sardines in the city. A lot of time had passed and everyone was laughing and chatting with the penguin without worrying about anything else, until the seagull Mist began to move his wings uncontrollably. Everyone, amazed by what was happening, looked around and saw that a huge black cloud was approaching. With it came a lot of wind and a very loud sound that was terrifying. Without thinking much in alarm, they began to run to take shelter from the storm. But Pinguini couldn't run fast and was already moving away from the others. Suddenly, it seemed like he was going to die. Momo, who is very cautious and intelligent, realized that the penguin was not with them, and then he filled himself with courage and went back to look for his friend. He wanted to run very fast, but the wind was so strong that it pushed him. Despite being strong and robust, he couldn't move forward. The moment was getting more complicated and more dangerous until a magical force made Momo go through the storm. He looked everywhere and couldn't see Pinguini. He heard a weak voice coming from a puddle of water and saw that Pinguini was lying there unable to move. He remained calm as usual and thought, there is only one chance to save the penguin. I will catch him with my mouth and go out in search of the seagull Nibella so that with his strong wings he can take him to the nearest vet. The storm had already passed, and Momo still couldn't find his other friends or the seagull. Carrying the penguin still in his mouth, worried about his health, he went to his house, which was not far away. Then Juan, his human father, scared, gave him a scolding since he had run away from home, and they hadn't heard from him all day. When Juan saw the injured little penguin, he grabbed the keys to his ram truck and drove quickly to the animal hospital. Momo, who also got into the truck, saw in a narrow hallway of the hospital the seagull Nibella and the cat Poto, who were very worried and had decided to come to the hospital in case Pinguini and Momo were there. Seeing Pinguini injured, they began to cry and ask God for a blessing so that he would not die. And then a miracle happened. Pinguini was recovering and could already walk, but the doctor explained to him that he urgently needed the cold sea. Juan, who had heard well, took his cell phone and did a Google search. He found a boat at a dock in the next town. This boat could bring the penguin closer to the North Pole, and with a lot of luck, Pinguini would be safe and with his family. Penguin didn't know what to do. He had new friends, and he also wanted to be with his family, so the decision to leave was very difficult for him. Poto, who was very sad like the others, began to smell the penguin and promised him that he would never forget him because his scent was already in his nose forever. For her part, Momo was crying with sadness because she had found a new friend and was already going far away, and maybe she would never see him again, although she kept all the beautiful time together. The seagull Nibella was a little more optimistic because she was able to see when the vet placed a chip in Penguin and told Papa Juan that with that chip they would always know where the penguin was. The ship began its journey, and a month later, the vet reported that Penguin was already with his family and that he seemed very happy. For Poto and his friends, this was great news. With the experience of having saved the penguin, they decided to work every day, sitting on the seashore in case another animal appeared in an accident and needed help. Once Penguin returned home to Antarctica, life in Seattle continued for Poto, Mary, Nibella, and Momo, but something had changed. The experience of helping the penguin had left a deep mark on them and had taught them the value of friendship, compassion, and cooperation. Every day, the friends gathered at the seashore, keeping an eye out for any animal that might need their help. They decided to get more organized and form a rescue team called the Guardians of the Sea. Momo's dad, Juan, helped them by building a small shelter on the beach equipped with basic first aid supplies and rescue tools. One morning, while the friends were enjoying a picnic, Nibella spotted something unusual floating in the water. With his sharp seagull eyes, he realized it was a sea turtle caught in an abandoned fishing net. Wasting no time, he flew to the shelter and alerted the others. "A turtle is in trouble!" Nibella shouted as he landed. Poto, Mary, and Momo quickly set off. Momo ran to the shore and dove into the water, swimming hard towards the turtle. Poto and Mary followed in a small boat that Juan had built for them. When they reached the turtle, Momo was already trying to untangle it with her teeth. "We need to cut the net," said Poto, taking out a special pair of scissors from the boat. Mary held the turtle carefully while Poto cut the net. The turtle, although scared, seemed to understand that they were there to help it. With patience and precision, Poto managed to free the turtle from the net. The turtle stood still for a moment, catching its breath, and then swam around the boat, as if thanking them. "We did it!" exclaimed Mary, jumping up and down with joy. "Thank you all," said Momo, shaking the water off of her fur. Fog flew in circles above them, squawking with joy. The turtle, free and grateful, swam away towards the horizon. That night, the friends gathered in their shelter, remembering the exciting adventure and feeling proud of their teamwork. They decided that, in addition to rescuing animals in danger, they would also educate people about the importance of caring for the sea and its creatures. They began organizing workshops on the beach, inviting children and adults to learn about marine life, pollution, and how to protect the environment. Juan, who was a skilled carpenter, built models and interactive tools to make the workshops more interesting and educational. Over time, the work of the Guardians of the Sea became known throughout the community. They received calls from people who found animals in danger, and they were always ready to help. One day, they received a special letter from Antarctica. It was from Pinguni. "Dear friends," the letter began, "I want to thank you once again for saving me and returning me home. I'm happy with my family, but I will never forget the kindness and friendship you showed me. I have told your story to all my friends here, and you are admired for your bravery and dedication. I send you a hug from the North Pole. Love, Pinguni." The letter touched everyone deeply. They knew that their work was important and that they were making a difference, not only in their community, but also in the hearts of those they had helped. One day, while walking along the beach, Poto had an idea. "What if we expanded our mission? We could travel to different places and help more animals in other parts of the world," he proposed. Mary, Nibela, and Momo was excited by the idea. Juan, always willing to help, suggested that they build a special boat for their rescue missions. With the support of the community and the dedication of the Guardians of the Sea, they built a boat equipped with everything necessary to rescue animals and educate people about environmental conservation. They called it the Navigator of the Seas. Thus, Poto, Mary, Nibela, and Momo embarked on new adventures, sailing around the world, rescuing animals, and bringing their message of love and care for nature to every corner of the planet. Their friendship and commitment to the welfare of animals and the environment made them true heroes, and their story spread, inspiring others to follow their example. And so, the Guardians of the Sea continued their work, knowing that every small act of kindness could have a big impact on the world. The Navigator of the Seas became a powerful tool for the Guardians of the Sea. Equipped with advanced technology, it included a weather station to forecast storms, a laboratory to analyze water samples, and a first aid room to treat injured animals. Poto, Mary, Nibela, and Momo became experts in its use, each playing a crucial role in the missions. Their first mission took them to the coasts of Mexico, where they had received reports of a colony of dolphins trapped in a bay polluted by industrial waste. Upon arrival, they found the dolphins struggling to swim in the murky water. "We must act quickly," said Poto, observing the situation seriously. Nibela, with her ability to fly and observe from the air, located the source of the pollution, a broken pipe that was pouring waste into the sea. Meanwhile, Mary and Momo worked to guide the dolphins to cleaner areas of the water, using soft nets so as not to harm them. Poto contacted local authorities and a team of marine scientists to fix the pipe and clean up the bay. They worked day and night, clearing the water and making sure the dolphins were safe. After several days of hard work, the bay began to regain its clarity, and the dolphins were swimming freely again. "We did it!" exclaimed Mary, exhausted but happy. The scientists thanked the guardians of the sea for their bravery and efficiency. Reports of their success spread, and they soon received invitations to help in other parts of the world. The next mission took them to the jungles of Brazil, where jaguars and other animals were being displaced by deforestation. With the help of local biologists, the Guardians of the Sea worked to relocate the animals to protected areas and plant new trees to restore the habitat. During one of their explorations in the jungle, Momo discovered an injured jaguar caught in a trap. With the help of Mary and Poto, they managed to free the jaguar and take it to a rehabilitation center. Nibela, with her ability to fly long distances, carried messages to the rescue teams to coordinate the necessary help. "Every life we save is a victory," said Poto, watching the jaguar recover. Their work in the jungle led them to meet a group of children who lived in a nearby community. The children were fascinated by the stories of the guardians of the sea and wanted to learn how to protect their environment. Poto and his friends decided to organize educational workshops teaching the children about the importance of conservation and how they could help take care of the jungle. One day, while exploring a remote part of the jungle, Poto and his friends found a polluted river. They discovered that a nearby factory was dumping waste into the water. Determined to solve the problem, they contacted the authorities and worked with the community to clean up the river and stop the pollution. "We are not only here to save animals but also to protect their homes," said Poto, inspiring the community to join their efforts. Over time, the Sea Guardians became known around the world for their dedication and bravery. Their adventures took them to remote places from the frozen tundras of the Arctic to the warm waters of the Caribbean. In each place, they made new friends, learned about different ecosystems, and shared their message of love and care for nature. One day, they received an urgent call from Australia. Forest fires were devastating large areas of forest and endangering countless animals. Without a second thought, they set sail for Australia, ready to face the challenge. Upon arrival, they found the landscapes engulfed in smoke and flames. Working in coordination with firefighters and rescue teams, they helped evacuate the animals and provide them with shelter. Momo, with his strength and determination, became a local hero, rescuing koalas and kangaroos trapped in the flames. Mary and Nibela coordinated the search and rescue efforts, while Poto used his leadership skills to organize the relief efforts. After weeks of grueling work, the fires were finally brought under control. The Sea Guardians, though exhausted, felt proud to have helped so many lives. "This is just the beginning," said Poto, looking out at the horizon with determination. "There is so much more to do, and together we can make a difference." Their tireless spirit and love of nature led them to continue their mission, knowing that each day would bring new challenges and opportunities to do good. The Sea Guardians, united by their friendship and dedication, became a symbol of hope and protection for all living things on the planet. The Sea Guardians, strengthened by their successes, continued their mission with renewed determination. Their next adventure took them to the shores of Africa, where coral reefs were dying due to global warming and pollution. Upon arrival, they encountered a community of fishermen who depended on their reefs for their livelihood. "We have to act quickly," Poto said, looking at the damaged reefs. Nibela, with her ability to fly and observe from the air, located the most affected areas. Mary and Momo, along with local fishermen, worked tirelessly to clean debris from the water and transplant healthy corals to the damaged areas. During their stay, the Guardians of the Sea also worked with local schools, teaching children about the importance of coral reefs and how they could help protect their marine environment. Inspired by their new friends, the children organized cleanup campaigns and vowed to take care of their sea. One day, while exploring an underwater cave, Poto and Momo found an ancient chest. Inside there were scrolls containing maps and accounts of sea explorers from centuries past. Fascinated, they took the scrolls back to the shelter and began studying them. These maps could lead us to places still unknown, said Poto, excited by the discovery. Mary and Nibella joined the investigation and soon realized that the maps pointed to the location of a lost island in the Pacific, home to rare species and priceless natural treasures. They decided to embark on a new mission to find the island and protect its biodiversity. After weeks of sailing and adventures, they finally spotted the island from a distance. As they approached, they marveled at the untouched beauty of its landscape. White sand beaches, dense jungles, and towering mountains. We must be very careful, Nibella said. We don't want to upset the natural balance of this place. They explored the island with respect and caution, documenting each find and making sure to leave no trace of their presence. They found species of plants and animals they had never seen before, some of which were on the verge of extinction. One day, as they walked through the jungle, Mary heard a faint moan. As they approached, they found a rare mountain deer trapped in a landslide. With Momo's help, they managed to free the deer and bring it to safety. This place is a treasure, Poto said. We must make sure it remains protected. They contacted international conservation organizations who sent teams to study the island and develop plans for its protection. Soon, the island was declared a nature reserve, and the guardians of the sea were recognized for their courageous exploration and dedication to conservation. Their return home was celebrated with joy and admiration. The Seattle community and indeed the entire world followed their adventures with enthusiasm. Children, inspired by their exploits, began to organize their own small conservation groups, following the example of their heroes. One morning, while relaxing on the beach, Poto received a call from Pinguini in Antarctica. Friends, we have a new challenge, Pinguini said excitedly. The ice caps are melting faster than expected, and many animals are in danger. We need your help. Without hesitation, the Sea Guardians prepared for their next mission. Equipped with their experience and their unbreakable team spirit, they set off to Antarctica, ready to face their biggest challenge yet. Upon arrival, they found a desolate landscape where the melting ice was creating problems for penguins, seals, and other animals. Pinguini was waiting for them with a group of scientists and environmentalists, all ready to work together. The situation is critical, said one of the scientists. We need to find a quick solution to mitigate the effects of climate change here. Poto, Mary, Nibella, and Momo joined the effort, using their ship and resources to transport supplies, monitor the ice, and rescue animals in distress. They implemented systems to create artificial ice shelves where animals could rest and breed. Nibella, with her ability to fly long distances, became a vital messenger carrying crucial information between rescue teams and home bases. Mary, with her problem solving skills, worked with the scientists to devise innovative solutions. Momo, with her strength and bravery, rescued numerous animals trapped in the melting ice, bringing them to safety. Poto, leading with wisdom and compassion, coordinated the efforts, making sure each step was taken with care and precision. The mission in Antarctica was one of the most challenging they faced, but also one of the most rewarding. Their work saved countless lives and proved that with unity and determination, they could tackle even the world's biggest problems. The guardians of the sea, with their hearts full of hope and their bonds of friendship stronger than ever, continued their journey. They knew their mission would never end, but they were ready to face any challenge, knowing that every small act of kindness and bravery could make a big difference in the world. And so, Poto, Mary, Nibella, and Momo continued to sail, rescue, and protect, bringing their message of love and care for nature to every corner of the planet, inspiring future generations to follow in their footsteps and become true guardians of the earth.